Hachette Audio presents Julian Fellowes' Belgravia, Episode 5, The Assignation. Written by Julian Fellowes. Read by Juliet Stevenson.
Susan Trenchard lay in bed listening to the church bells of All Saints, Isleworth. Every now and then she could hear the noises of the river, watermen calling to each other, the splash of an oar. She looked around the room. It was decorated like a bedchamber in a great house rather than a lodging, with heavy brocade curtains, a classical chimney-piece and a fine four-poster where she lay. Another woman might have been alarmed to discover that John Bellicis kept a small house in Isleworth with a single room for eating, a large and luxuriously appointed bedroom, and more or less nothing else beyond a service area and presumably a room for the near-silent man who ministered to them. Again, the fact that the servant had asked no questions when they arrived, but simply produced a delicious luncheon before ushering them into a bedroom, where the curtains had been drawn and the fire lit, might have implied that he knew the form for this type of encounter a little too thoroughly for comfort. But Susan was too content, too satisfied, indeed more satisfied than she had been in years, to pick holes in her present happiness. She lay back and stretched. "You should probably get dressed." John stood at the foot of the bed, buttoning the fly of his trousers. "I'm dining in town, and you should be back in time to change."
"Do we have to?"
Susan propped herself up in the bed. Her auburn hair snaked in curls over her smooth, white shoulders. She bit her plump bottom lip as she looked up at John. In this mood, she really was quite irresistible, and she knew it. John walked over and sat down next to her, running his index finger down the side of her neck, tracing the curve of her collarbone, while Susan closed her eyes. He cupped her chin and kissed her. What an extraordinary proposition Susan Trenchard had turned out to be. Their meeting at his aunt's soiree had been quite fortuitous and entirely unplanned, but she was his best discovery this season. He really believed she would keep him entertained for weeks.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?